Michael, there is one very interesting question. Why did you set it up in Switzerland?
Very interesting question. We felt that in our landscape all over the world, you have a few locations where DAOs became popular, but also where you have regulations which allow DAOs to exist in the first place, or where you have found ways for DAOs to find a way to just integrate with the real world, put it this way. However, out of all these places, I think Switzerland is the most mature one and the most established one, and it shows now that really there's a large demand for DAOs to actually be domiciled in Switzerland. It also shows that from our membership, all the people who have expressed interest not only to join our discussions but even become members, you see a large interest from all over the world, from Japan, India, Africa, all the way to the US, but especially interest from the US. We have strong supporters and collaborators from the US because you have many DAOs and they don't feel necessarily safe. They have found a setup. You even have a DAO law in Utah. You have a strong community of 400 DAOs in Wyoming. However, are you safe as a DAO? Put it this way: DAOs are being sued, DAOs are being banned. Even the participants in the DAO, the token holders, are being legally persecuted to some degree, and it's not a safe place. So in that quest to find a safe haven, people are actually turning again to Switzerland. Now, Switzerland has been a birthplace of crypto, you will probably everybody agrees. However, it also became a bit less exciting over the last 2-3 years, I suppose. Arguably, it lost a bit of pace, and it lost a bit out to hubs like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, even, which has passed some laws for DAOs. However, balancing all these different factors, I think Switzerland is still the place where we can start with building a template that is tried and tested and build out. But clearly, this is not something that needs to only stay in Switzerland.
Okay. And so I understood it right, you made the framework here in Switzerland, but can it be also used from organizations outside of Switzerland?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, members can come from any place, anywhere in the world, except of course we have restrictions in terms of sanctions. That restricts us, and for good purpose. But then also we only see it as an access point to the real world. So it's a bit like customs, a bit like a bridge from the DeFi world, from crypto to the real world. However, once you are in the real world, we have these different tentacles almost in other bridges or port keys that can bring us to other places in the world. Maybe that's one way to frame this. So through the SwissAssetDAO, somebody can invest into places as from the US to Singapore, because we build these legal entities in different places. There are a few places that it works, and I mean with that we build SPVs, special purpose vehicles, in places like Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, the Cayman Island, but also Singapore. It's about a dozen places where this can be done, where you can have segregated accounts and effectively have these adapter frameworks ready to plug in and invest.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. And Michael, please tell our guests, what is your vision? Why are you doing that?
So I come from the TradFi background, many years investment banking, and I see solutions which have been done and tested for many, many years, and I see now the space emerging in DeFi. There's a lot of experimentation going on, not only in terms of technology, but also in terms of governance, in terms of lending, in terms of legal and regulatory. For better or worse, it must evolve to something that works, and it's absolutely critical to work to actually really bring the benefits of distributed ledger technology back to the users, to the real world, and that institutional adoption to come. So I think with all what we have learned from TradFi, I think there's things which we can bring to distributed ledger technology and the DAOs and the whole space for it allowing to leapfrog and not necessarily having to repeat all the mistakes that we have done in TradFi over many decades, from the great financial crisis to all sort of scandals and lending crisis and so forth. So I hope we can bring in a little contribution to just give safety, bring these spaces together, and make it work frictionless, safe, with security, and cost efficient, to really start to harness the benefits of the technology for a better future.
Yes, and this will bring a better future if it has an advantage over the TradFi. So DeFi will just be accepted if it brings advantages.
Absolutely. And here's also some lessons learned probably for everyone who has been in tokenization for a couple of years. Tokenization has been the next big thing for more than 5, 6, 7 years, and it still hasn't caught on the way we hoped. Every tokenizer has a distribution problem. Who will actually buy the tokenized assets? And they will not just show up. In many cases, actually, tokenizing things make it more difficult to buy for an existing investor. So somebody who's already owning real estate through REITs will not just jump on a tokenized REIT, because now it's suddenly 2 systems to monitor these things, and they're not fungible, and so forth. The same thing, I think, when we talk about ownership. Not everybody wants to hold or own a 100th fractional part of a watch, because he cannot even wear it. That's not the point of tokenization. Fractionalization also doesn't bring liquidity. Making things smaller doesn't bring liquidity. The opposite is true. Making things bigger brings liquidity. The most liquid assets are the biggest ones, so US treasuries and others. So we have gotten a few things, I think, perceived wrongly. That doesn't help us to drive this forward and find actual solutions to make it work. But it will come. We might just rethink a few of these approaches and tweak. And I think here also the SwissAssetDAO has a part to play. We do things decisively different in some places, legally, structurally, what a token is about, just really to bring these things to life. But we'll see. Time will tell what will find adoption.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
That's really great. Thanks, Michael. And with SwissAssetDAO, you will bring things together. You're building bridges, so it will become better, and so it will have a big future. Thanks a lot, Michael. It was a pleasure
so much,
to have you here. And
always great talking.
Below you will find the links to SwissAssetDAO and all the social media channels of Michael and friends. We see you soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.